guys, we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna go. This is gonna be a little challenge. I think we're gonna go a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna call it detailed, but a little bit more skill, and you're gonna teach you a few things that you'll be able to use. That'll be kind of fun.
It's
all right?
show number 25. They are ready.
We gotta pick it up a notch.
Yeah.
So this one, I usually say that you can use anything to draw with, anything to draw on, pen and a post-it note, and you can do that for this one, but you're gonna need the full range of colors to get the full effect on this one.
Should we give them a second to go get some crayons?
Well, you can. It'll take a little while, but I think you can. They'll be on replay, and you can watch this over again. So,
good point.
What we're gonna start with here is we're gonna start with the horizon line. And this fancy thing lets me make a little
I love how that clicks so straight.
Now, what I want to do is we're gonna draw the Mokes. We're gonna draw the Mokes at dawn. Okay.
Sweet.
So this is going to be a little bit hard to explain, but they look a little bit like this. Okay. So that's one of them. And of course, you don't have to be, if you don't want to draw the Mokes, you could just draw two little islands, and that's fine too. All right, so we've got two little guys here, and I'm going to draw, of course, little faces on them.
You usually do that at the end. This is a different rhythm.
A little bit different here tonight.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. I can go in a couple different directions with this. What we're going to do here, I'm going to pull out my airbrush tool. And I don't often use this, but this is what tonight calls for. So this could be good. You could do this with crayons, with a lot of different things. Use your imagination. But what I'm going to do here first, so the goal is to create the feel of dawn, right? The feel like the sun is just about to rise. So I have my background is purple, and I'm going to take a little bit of a darker shade of purple and make sure this is bigger. Bring the opacity down, and the very top,
that's cool.
I'm going to add in a little bit of a purple shade like that. Bring that down. All right, so that's pretty good. Now, I'm going to, at the bottom, I'm going to take a lighter shade of purple. If I can. There we go. Make it just a little bit. I'm going to do this, and I don't know how big my thing is going to be. I'll have to change it up. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to kind of bring this in just a little bit lighter. Okay, and now I'm going to get like a little bit of a reddish orangish color, and I'm going to bring that in. So you're going to get this little, almost like it's like a pink, I guess, right? Okay.
You know, as you do this, it kind of reminds me of sitting and watching a sunrise because it just changes every 5 seconds.
Right? That's one of the things that's kind of cool about it.
I know. I love that process
and
of
I'm
seeing
go with
the
just
light
another shade brighter with the orange, and I'm going to keep this kind of in the middle here. Okay, and then I'm going to get just like a little bit lighter, and then I'm just going to do it in the middle. Okay, so you get just cool. That coming up. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my regular brush, my little drawing tool, and I'm going to color in the Mokes now. And I'm going to do this with the darker purple. I don't want to go black because I want to be able to see those faces still. But I'm going to bring in it's going to be a little bit bigger. There we go. I'm going to bring in this so it's a silhouette, right? All right, now here's a kind of a fun part. I'm going to work on these clouds, and this is the little part here I'm going to show you that are just like little techniques to make things like pop. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my airbrush real quick, and I'm not going to just need to see how big my thing was. All right, so I'm going to do some clouds. Now this is where the Bob Ross thing comes in, and it's going to be a little bit of a darker, the same color as the Mokes, and it's a little bit too big than what I want. And I'm just going to make some clouds here, okay? Cool. And it can be any shapes, doesn't matter. I'm going to make another little one here. the cool thing. These are happy little clouds. They can take any shape that you want. But here's the part where it gets cool. So I'm going to get a little bit smaller brush, and I'm going to go get that pink. And I'm now, keep in mind, the sun is coming up from the horizon, so the things on the underneath of the clouds are what's going to have the light. So I'm just going to trace, make that a little bit brighter. Trace this bottom here.
Oh yeah.
Of the clouds.
That's cool.
Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, just give you that tracing in there. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to get a little bit more of the orange. And the parts that are closer to the middle, closer to where the sun is, are going to get that treatment. And that's where you get a little bit of that glow, right? Because it's like fades out over the rest of the painting.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get more of this yellow and right on this edge here. Okay. Got that. Now,
that's cool. Here's
another cool thing. So then for the water, to make the water kind of look like water is real easy. It's very impressionistic. So I'm going to take the dark again, and I'm just going to draw little, almost like sprinkles. They kind of look like sprinkles, don't they, Kim?
Yeah.
And especially right under where the mokes are, because those are in shadow. They're casting a shadow, and these little lines make it look like the water is kind of rippling and moving, right?
Yeah.
And where the area is closest to the mokes is going to be the darkest, and then you're going to get kind of little tiny flecks the farther out you go as that shadow fades out. That's cool. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go in there and get that pink again. And then I'm going to put this in the middle.
Oh, that's cool.
And bring the little flecks of light coming in here.
You just created so much depth,
right?
All of a sudden.
And you guys can do this. Like I said, you need color. You know, you could do this with marker. This really would work good with paint, or of course anything, a digital thing. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to layer. Get me a little bit of that orange guy, and then I'm going to add that in there. But I'm not going to go all the way down where I did the pink. It's going to be most intense, closest to the horizon, right? And then we'll get this yellow and punch this up closest.
Kim Stampa McMillan says this is her favorite one so far.
Yeah. Well, this is it's a little bit more more complicated in terms of steps, but not hard. It's not hard. You can do this.
Right.
And then one last little thing I'll do here, just to make the faces stand out a little bit more, is I'm going to get this color, and then just underneath here, if you do these little shadow underneath, it makes it look like the little eyes and mouth are kind of recessed, like the little that they go in and they stand out a little bit more. So you can imagine how much fun you could have really putting in the detail with clouds, adding more clouds, adding more color in the water and stuff. But this gives you a little taste, and this is what I'm calling the mokes at dawn. Which again is one of those things like, who wants to draw the mokes at dawn? Hopefully you.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see.
I love the comments coming in here. Kara first said, this is absolutely adorable. And then she said, I heart this. I love this. Helen says it's beautiful. And Helen said something about chalk. This would be really good. Right. Yes. All of a sudden, I'm like, wow, how beautiful would that be?
Chalk,
if your snow
pastel.
Melts, Helen, you can find your driveway. And because last we heard you had several inches. So
you know what else would work good is colored pencil. If you get you can buy you could use construction paper or art paper that's purple, and then do colored pencils over the top. And I love, it's one of my favorite things to do, is to do colored pencil on a colored background, and you would really be able to get the shading and stuff like that there. So.
By the way, little inside, artist's wife tip. If you're ever looking to do colored pencil for like a coloring book, adult coloring book, reach out to us, because Jason got colored pencils for our kids, and these are not your Crayola colored pencils. There are real colored pencils that just change the whole experience. So if that's ever something that calls out to you, just send us an email.
Yeah, that's one of the things. If any of you, I have to point out, Amy says, I now consider myself an artist. 25 weeks ago, I did not. Thank you. And we do get a little snobby. We've talked about rose art versus Crayola crayons. And that is something about the quality of materials you use that really just, maybe it's partly about like treating yourself, but the quality really does make a difference and makes your work better. You still have to know how to use it, but having like those colored pencils you're talking about, which
Gretchen wants to know what those are.
They're Prismacolor. Prismacolor.
Okay.
They're very popular brand, but they're very buttery, and so they have softer leads, and so they're brighter, they blend better, things like that.
You get the satisfaction of a crayon, but you get the detail work of a colored pencil because you can keep sharpening it.
And I mentioned like purple construction paper, but if you were to actually get purple or lilac colored drawing paper from like Canson, Canson is a brand, then it's just the texture of the paper grabs the colored pencil better, and it just creates a better experience. So suddenly you work with some of these materials and you feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm amazing.
Right. So, it changes the experience.
Right. So and so I encourage any of you that enjoy these segments to play around. And I remember when I first started, when I was a teenager and stuff, it was a big deal to get the box of colored pencils and save up for some of the art supplies. But if you have a chance to splurge,
maybe start making your Christmas list.
Yeah,
right?
It's a good way to pass the time. So thanks for playing along. I hope you guys had fun with that.